Okay. Um, so in the fall of 2007, I was a sophomore uh, at Middle Tennessee State University, which is a fair piece away from Montana. But I was originally a science major. I was a geology major, chemistry and biology minor. And there were several times where I had issues with getting, once I got to upper division, um, specifically with math. And math is not necessarily my strong suit. Numbers, letters, when they get all together and you add Greek letters to it, it becomes a problem. So I didn't really understand calculus that much, specifically integration. But my professors still thought that I could do pretty well at it. Unfortunately, they were wrong. But I went one day to my professor's office, my advisor really, and he and I were talking about various strategies and whatnot to kind of get um, get over this hurdle for these math requirements. And I had just taken Calculus 2 at the time, and I got a D plus in that class, and it was required by the department for my major to get a C minus, something of that nature, in order to get over the requirement. Well, my professor had told me that I needed to retake it, and I pretty much was set against sitting through another semester of calculus. Never again. And so uh, I sat in his office and we started to argue about it. And I got very argumentative with him, and several things were said, many four-letter words were said, and I have ultimately started arguing policy about the department and how the department was being very much just draconian and ancient, needed to move into the new century. But he looked at me and just was like, "Well, if you don't want to uh, retake it and you just want to sit here and argue policy all day, then why don't you just go to the political science department?" He said, "That's where you can argue all day long and never have to do math ever again." Unfortunately, statistics was part of political science, but I can handle stats. I couldn't handle graphs. Um, so that's ultimately what I did, and for the better, because I graduated a year and a half later, a year early actually, with a bachelor's degree in political science with concentrations in American law and political theory. And then after that, I went on to graduate school, earned my MA in American history, legal and constitutional history. And now, currently, I'm at UM as a doctoral candidate in the history department, currently writing his dissertation in order to hopefully graduate within the next year or end of time, whichever comes first, and uh, to go off and do my own thing. So having an argumentative engagement with a professor sent me off into where I actually should have been in the first place. So that was almost 6 years ago, 7 years ago now. No, longer than that, 9 years ago. Wow. I told you math is not my strong suit. So it's it was a change for the better.